The Health Research Council enabled the founding of the Sleep-Wake Research Centre because they awarded me a repatriation fellowship which brought me back to New Zealand and funded me for a year to get the centre underway. And the name Sleep-Wake reflects our discipline base, which is unique in New Zealand. We're interested in human sleep and circadian physiology. A feature of those first 10 years was a fantastic HRC-funded collaboration with the Erupomari Māori Health Research Centre at Otago Medical School in Wellington. And that work enabled us to get a really broad overview of the sleep health of New Zealand adults and of sleep disorders amongst New Zealand adults. So we know a lot about the epidemiology of sleep health and sleep disorders in New Zealand. Not surprisingly, there are major disparities in sleep health between Māori and non-Māori. A lot of these are related to structural factors, socioeconomic deprivation, unemployment, night work, and the centre remains fully committed to reducing disparities in sleep health between Māori and non-Māori in all of our research. This epidemiological research fits into one of the two main goals at Sleep-Wake, which is to improve the health of individuals, of populations and of communities by addressing the factors that affect sleep health. And these are not only the biological factors but also the psychosocial factors and the structural factors. And we're interested in improving sleep health across the lifespan. And so we have subsequent projects with the Health Research Council that have been looking at sleep in pregnant mums and families, and also in people, older people and people with dementia. Increasingly we're understanding that restricting your sleep and working with the disruptions to your circadian biological clock do have very major health consequences. And so it's not only about shift work, it's also about our choices to use media late into the evening. We know that blue light is particularly effective on the circadian biological clock, so that if you look at a blue lit screen for a few hours before bedtime, you will actually delay your body clock, delay your sleep, make yourself problems for getting up in the morning. The way we're living now is very much challenging the way we're physiologically adapted to live, if you will. And so one of our main goals now is to be able to better understand why that is and to come up with better solutions so that we can improve health. We're currently working on a 3-year HRC-funded project grant which is to implement a new approach to managing shift work and fatigue in hospital-based nursing. A new approach is needed at this point because the workload of nurses is increasing and DHB funding is obviously limited. But it's also timely because the new Health and Safety at Work Act is tightening up on the management of workplace hazards. This research is building on new scientific understanding that shift work does create challenges for people in terms of their ability to function effectively and safely in the workplace. It also creates challenges for them in terms of getting enough recovery sleep and in terms of the interface between their work demands and life outside of work. So this new approach is building on new science and it's building on a growing body of international best practice which reflects that new science. The big output from this project will be a new code of practice for managing shift work in hospital-based nursing. And the aim here is to have the latest scientific expertise, to have international best practice, and to work very closely right throughout with the nursing sector so that we can come up with solutions which will be practical and workable in New Zealand hospitals. My passion for this is still very strong because having spent 35 years in this area of research, I've seen our knowledge expand to the point where we really now can start to make a practical difference. But the other thing which is becoming very clear and very quickly is that inadequate sleep and disruption to the circadian biological clock are having a major impact on our health. and on safety and on our well-being. And so for me, it's a very exciting time to see the research coming into the real world, and at the same time our knowledge is building so quickly in terms of why we're having these challenges and what we might be able to do about them.